Now them little buddies get them hit from the other side. From the other side. From the other side.
Leave them bitches alone.
Listen to me. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk to y'all real quick. Before I talk to y'all, I do want to say this. I told you I'd shut your shit down. Listen to me. I told you I could shut it down, bruh. You know what I mean? But this is what I want to say. First and foremost, you know, Tekashi 6'5", this is a guy that is the promoter of the entire event. And I'm going to tell you why I'm calling him like Tekashi 6'5" in a second. Basically, I'm going to save y'all like about an hour. You know what I mean? Lush One goes ahead and he goes on live and he's basically trying to clear his name. And this is why Lush One is trying to clear his name. 6'5" goes ahead and he's putting out information, trying to blame, you know, Lush One for the event not going down as scheduled, how it's supposed to be planned, and, you know, the money and all this. He's trying to, like, pretty much throw Lush One under the bus. So Lush One basically goes ahead and he's trying to clear his name on live, and he's talking about a couple of other things, some things that people may not know about. Basically, he's saying that, you know, this guy, Tekashi 6'5", is going ahead and trying to ask for $60,000, you know, to cover the deposits. And what Lush One is finding out is that the deposits, you know, for everybody to do this thing is well beyond like $60,000, because you got me, you know, I was trying to negotiate like 16 racks, you know, to do like the boxing match, but we got down to like 10 racks. So, you know, for me personally, I want like $10,000 to do it. You got Hitman, who knows? Well, I know what the hell he kind of wants. But you got Hitman Holla, you know, what he wants. You got Dizaster, you got Hoffa, you got, you know, whatever Geechee Gotti is like trying to get. You got Danny Myers, you got Bangs on the car. You got all these different people, these personalities, this star power. You got these people trying to like get on the car, and they want their deposits. They want their money. And what Lush One is saying is the budget to even cover the deposit is like way beyond $100,000, and this guy was trying to get like 60,000 up, and Lush One was kind of looking at it like, yo, this event is happening on the West. I want to look out for this guy just to make sure that, you know, everything kind of goes well, it goes smoothly. He's kind of new to all of this like crazy shit, so I just want to make sure he's kind of like moving in the right direction. So Lush One is like talking to people, talking to investors, and he's basically trying to also make sure his bro Dizaster is kind of getting his deposit. Hoffa, he's trying to figure out ways that he can like help facilitate some sort of cash. Not that he's trying to brand himself into the event, because, you know, you don't see like Lush One this and Lush One that. He's not trying to do that. He's just trying to be like a good dude and help the guy try to find like sponsors, but he's trying to talk to him, and he's not hearing back from this guy. This guy kind of goes MIA for a minute. He's basically saying he's got like legal problems that he's got to work out, so he doesn't get back to Lush. And Lush is like trying to help this dude, but this guy ends up pulling a Tekashi 6'5" and 6'9", and he's just like throwing like Lush One under the bus. So this forces Lush One's hand to have to go live and like talk to the fans. So basically, he goes live and he pretty much clears up his name. Now, me personally dealing with the promoter, I've never heard Lush One be mentioned, not even once. You know, so that goes to tell me like this guy is not the person at fault or the person to blame in this situation. If anything, Lush One is just trying to help Tekashi 6'5" out in this whole thing that's going on. You know what I mean? So Tekashi 6'5", the promoter, goes ahead and he calls in, and he's basically just ratting on everybody. He is throwing everybody under the bus. He's throwing Dizaster under the bus. He's throwing Hoffa under the bus. He's basically saying, yo, I've got paperwork from both of them that kind of shows that they both knew the entire time that this whole thing was about to be financed off of door money, you know, and not necessarily off of anything else. It was going to be the door money. I'm sorry, not the door money, but the ticket sales, you know, from the pre-pay-per-view ticket sales, how all the deposits and everything was going to get covered. So they pretty much knew going into it that there was no money. So he doesn't understand like how people are kind of saying like they don't understand that there's like no money, or they, you know, are just finding out that there's no money when they knew like all in all that there was no money going into this event. So therefore marketing the event with no money. So then Tekashi 6'5" goes ahead and he says, which is a complete lie because I didn't even talk to him. He basically goes ahead and he says that, yo, like, the trailer that I dropped, I didn't even know Math Hoffa was gonna drop the trailer. I didn't even know this trailer was gonna drop at all. My hand was kind of just forced to try to make this whole event happen. I don't know what the hell is going on. Like talking to Lush one, I'm gonna let y'all hear like the whole like everything like in a minute. You know, he's kind of like throwing Math Hoffa under the bus. But I do want to say this, Tekashi 65, I've talked to you, you know, about this event. And you mentioned the trailer multiple different times, like, yo, I've got this hot trailer that I'm about to drop, and this is gonna help like drive revenue to get, you know, the pay-per-view money, you know, that we need to like help out with some of this. Like, yo, like, you know, so we need like promotion. We need all hands on board. And this is when I told you, Tekashi 65, that I'm not helping you promote nothing unless I get paid. You see what I'm saying? Because for one, when people do stuff like that, that kind of shows me you ain't got no money. You see what I'm saying? Like you don't. You relying on that. You relying on door money. So you don't have any money. And I know what Dizaster like wants for this match. You see what I'm saying? And I know like what I want for the match. And I kind of, you told me like around what Hitman Holla wants for the match. So when you tell me all these numbers and I'm starting to figure things out, I know damn well, you know, with a community like this, you know, sometimes they're going to buy pay-per-views if it's like a dope event and shit like that. But for the most part, you know, I'm a part of the community myself. It's hard as hell to get us to spend money for anything unless it's like a surefire thing. If we think it's going to be the dopest shit in the world, or if it's like acts that we want to see, we're going to see it, you know, and spend the money for it. But if it's like some no-name person that we don't know trying to get into the game, people are going to be hesitant on like buying a pay-per-view from you. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of just like, yo, I need my money within 24 hours. This is what I need. I need my 5 racks, period. Anybody can get knocked out for 5 racks. So that's how I'm kind of looking at it. So he's playing around with the contracts, this and that. But, you know, he's mentioning like, yo, this trailer is dope. I'm about to drop the trailer because I want to start the ticket sales. You know, I didn't pay like $10,000 for this link. Like, how are you paying? No, $5,000. No, $3,000 or $5,000 for a link for the pay-per-view or some crazy that he said. Like, how are you paying thousands of dollars for a link for a pay-per-view? Like, a lot of things are just seeming like, yo, this dude, either he's not with it, he's not the smartest, like, person around, or he don't know what the hell he's doing if you paying that much money for a link. But he's trying to talk about he's going to push out the pay-per-view. Math Hoffa comes out, you know, with you, like, putting out, like, the trailer like for the event, and now it's Math Hoffa who's putting out the trailer and he's forcing your hand and you don't know what's going on, and now you scrambling trying to get money and this, that, and the third, when all the while you telling everybody behind the scenes, or at least you telling me, that you've got a trailer that you about to put out that the whole battle rap community is gonna eat up. This is gonna be on Hip Hop Is Real. This is gonna be on everybody's platform. Everybody's gonna talk about it, and it's just gonna generate thousands and thousands of dollars. This is what you telling me. So, you know, you throwing them under the bus like, you know, on some false shit when you telling me something completely different. This is what I'm talking about, Tekashi 65. Listen to me. Why you doing that? So I'm kind of just like looking at it like, yo, like this dude is completely beyond all like sense, you know what I mean? Business sense, everything, you know, at this point. It's kind of just like, I don't know what the hell's going on with him. I think you got in as over your head as you possibly could. Like Lush One was saying, you probably should have started out with a smaller event, kind of seen how things work, you know, got a little bit of fan confidence and then maybe move forward from then. But you got way over your head, you know, too fast. And now you're trying to like blame everybody and throw everybody under the bus. And that's not, you know, how you should be doing business, bro. You know, and, you know, I'm the least important person in the car, but I kind of unfolded all of this shit, you know, of what's going on. But I'm the least important person on the card, right? You see what happens? You can talk, I can talk. And it's just like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to, you know what I mean? I want you to be successful. I want you to have a successful event. But I don't want you out here scamming, you see what I'm saying, off of the backs of battle rappers and the battle rap fans getting money. Because these people, even though they are reluctant to invest or buy merchandise from people sometimes, they are to the point to where, you know, they feel like if it is like well warranted, people will like donate. You see what I'm saying? So, I don't want you taking advantage of that. And right now, I think you may have. And, we don't know how much money you've actually accumulated doing that pay-per-view, like pre-pay-per-view sales. We don't know the number. That's why I didn't get involved in it until I got my deposit. That's why I'm not going to help you promote until I get my deposit. The promotion I did was a call out to get anybody, who wanted to like get a shot at, me, like, to get that shot. You see what I'm saying? And so I did that call out, and I wanted to get paid. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And I think I successfully, completed my objective by at least like being able to get on the card. You know what I'm saying? From my point of view to, blogging, to being able to have like a boxing match, to potentially go down with Hitman Holla is a huge feat. Not just anybody can do that. You know what I mean? But when looking into it, it looked like you were kind of just in your infancy and you kind of just didn't know what was going on with everything. So I was kind of trying to promote, to try to get on the card. I think I did my like due diligence, was trying to get on the card. But as far as promoting anything else, like outside of that ticket sales, like I wasn't about to do that for you, bro. Especially would I have like a feeling, and I'm talking to you and I'm getting like bits and pieces that you really don't have all your business together. Like, so I'm not about to pull my brand into that. But I think that's foul that you're trying to throw Diz under the bus. I think that's foul that you're trying to throw Math under the bus. Because you know what? I did talk to, Diz and Math, like, and from what it sounded like, they didn't like try to like say nothing bad about you or, try to throw you under the bus with anything. If anything, I had like, I think me and Diz talked for like almost an hour, about everything and just like different things like in general. He never once like said nothing crazy about you. Never once tried to like throw you under the bus for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And for you to do that to them is kind of wild and foul, especially Lush 1 when he's not doing anything but trying to help you. And, people give him a bad rap, and me and Lush 1, we already had our words like on Twitter. So this blog can go like a completely different way. I could just be like talking bad about him, but I don't think he did nothing wrong. You see what I'm saying? So it is what it is on that. I think you owe a lot of people apologies. You can be mad at me for however long you want to be because I uncovered this, and you even text me like after the first and second blog came out like, yo, you think you doing something, you don't think, and now everything has unfolded because the pressure is out, because people are talking about it, because now, why is PIPERBOY Williams saying this? Why is he saying this is not real? Why is he saying this is not going down? The fans are starting to talk. People are coming out and giving their perspectives on what's going on. You see how that happens? So Tekashi 6'5", I would advise you, like when you get involved in the battle rap community, if you try to do it again, if anybody entrusts you to do it again, which I don't think they should, you see what I'm saying? But if they entrust you to try to do something again, do not try to throw anybody under the bus. Do not try to downplay anybody, because you never know what somebody can do out here. You see what I'm saying? And this is all this is just a hard lesson. A blogger doesn't have to just be me. It could be anybody, who has like a strong channel. They could stop your shit. We can figure out like what the hell's going on, uncover, reveal, expose, do all of these different things if we feel like it. Or we could just be like real about it and just shut down your event, and the event's been shut down. Because I shut it down, but it's kind of just like you never had any money to begin with. You were probably gonna ride this out until December and then finally like come out and tell people the truth. How much money would you have accumulated during that time? This is what I'm curious about. So for anybody that's thinking about going light on Tekashi 6'5", I would kind of just think about like how much, many of thousands of dollars. Because if I put out a GoFundMe on here, or if I like put out a link on here asking somebody to donate to the channel or something, it's gonna do numbers. You see what I'm saying? So how much money have you made? I'm trying to figure out. You got Math talking about it. You got Dizaster talking about it. You got a potential match with PIPERBOY and Hitman Holla going down. You got Danny on the card. You got Geechee Gotti on the card. He about to battle Rock. He was battling like Head Ice and, had Big K and, like K-Shine and, like Arsenal all in 1 year. You got all. How much money did you make? I'm curious, Tekashi 6'5". What are you not saying? I'm curious about that. That's what I want to know. But it is what it is. Dizaster is choosing to potentially do business with you in the future. Dizaster, I would strongly suggest you watch this video I'm about to play. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about that. Peace.
Right. Now the whole thing with Diz and Math is that they know every step of the way of what the fuck was going on. Every step of the way.
You gotta understand, like,
nobody was left in the dark. No one was left in the dark.
Malathion was my bad to cut you off. Malathion was only making those calls because Diz was blowing up his spot, like blowing up his line, like, yo, what's up, da, 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 da. And like low key creating, like, just trying to get to the bottom of the situation, you feel me? Like, and like, things aren't really adding up in his head, so he's just trying to make it make sense and talking to who he's got to talk to, and you know what I mean? Like, that's all, because he's just trying to get paid, because this is how he's
right. No, I respect that, and me and Diz had this conversation. That's why we agreed upon every battler that's fighting on this card agreed upon the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody agreed upon it. So it's no throwing six under the bus because of this, that, and the third, because everyone agreed upon it. We had a mission to make happen. The mission didn't go as planned. So then we had to, rewind some shit and reevaluate some shit. And that's when Malathion was brought into the mix.
Right.
Everything was already in agreement before he was brought into the mix.
You don't have any bad blood whatsoever. Like, you trying to make shit happen and have nothing but like your heart in the right place. Although I do think that there might have been certain situations where there was confusion between what you thought was agreed upon and what the battlers thought was agreed upon.
No, it is I didn't leave room for that. That's why contracts and everything was brought up and everything. That's why I have everything in writing, bro. Everything is in writing.
That's the
from
thing. I'm not finna look. I'm not like I feel. I'm just gonna say this, just as my integrity as a man. Like, I'm not finna put you on blast or say anything to disparage or like argue or go back and forth in that regard. Although I understand differently. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to like get too specific. You feel me? Like, I'm not.
No, I get you. I
ain't trying to pick on you or nothing. You feel me?
No, I'm transparent as fuck, bro. Anything you ever want to ask me, you can ask me in front of anybody because I'm transparent. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I have paperwork on everything I'm saying, so that's why I can say it with a smile on my face and confidence behind it because I have paperwork following everything that I spoke upon. Everything.
Well, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna call you a liar. You feel me? Like,
yeah, I mean, I got the paperwork. I got the receipts. Anybody can say lie, whatever, but I have the receipts. It's a difference when we can say, yo, I said this, but when I can show you, hey, no, this was said, this was agreed upon. It's a difference.
So what you're saying is then everything was straight until Malathion talked to Diz, and that changed the dynamic. It had nothing to do with there was
everything. How we decided to do it was with Math and Diz. They, you know what I'm saying? We all decided as a unit that we were going to open up the ticket sales. They were going to promote. They were going to do this. We were going to go off ticket sales. That we were going to. That's what the first and that's what the agreement was upon us. We were going to go off ticket sales. Once ticket sales didn't go exactly how I planned it to go right at that moment, I said, yo, we have to find an investor. So that's when Malathion came into play. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'll say as a man, I reached out to Malathion. Well, Malathion hit me up on a post talking about it, and then we talked about it, and then it went from there. You know what I'm saying? But once I told Malathion what I was expecting, I get who's ever bringing the bag, I get it. I completely understand it. That's why I let him know from the beginning, if they're not with this vision of mine, then I completely understand. You know what I'm saying? And then it's no, it's cool. They fucking with it. They like the idea. They love it, but they might just want to change, like one or two things. All right, cool. Well, what are we talking about changing? Well, they might want to do the venue at their spot. When the fuck is they spot at? In Bakersfield. God damn, bro. Nobody lives there. Nobody goes to Bakersfield. Okay, so Fuck it, I'm willing to do this. Fuck it, let's make it happen. We'll make it fucking happen. Oh, well, we're not going to sell tickets, bro. We're going to open up, we're going to run 2-3 events at that event while this is happening. That way we can bring people from there. Like, come on, bro, this is not what we agreed upon.
And the thing is this, like when you're dealing with people with money, like you have to find out creative ways that are going to benefit them in order to get them to want to put up the paper. So if they happen to like, and that's just like, you know, I'll just use as an example, like Alki David, like working with his crazy ass. Like I talked to you about, like one of the companies he owned was Hologram USA, which does like holograms of, you know, I did the Tupac hologram and shit like that, right? So he wanted to showcase that technology. So when we did the Cassidy versus Dizaster press conference, we had Cassidy appear via hologram. You know what I'm saying? Like, which like was corny as fuck, but we had to do that because he wanted that shit.
Right,
and, like,
right.
He's putting up all the racks, so that's why, like, you know.
Right. No, I get that. I get that. When you're the major investor, you have that control over what you want to put your money into. I get it. I get it. But me, the one having the idea, I have the control whether or not to say, yo, I want to allow you to literally change my entire vision just so I can use your money. Or I can say, yo, I can find this somewhere else, which pretty much is what happened. You know, to all those who are in questioning or inquiring about what the fuck is going on, Battle Rap Boxing is moving. We are dropping the next trailer coming up very soon. Everything will be taken care of. The boxers will be announcing some of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we're going to take care of everybody. I'm going to make sure the shit gets taken care of. But one thing I'm not going to do is allow anyone to damage the integrity of what I'm trying to build here.
Why put so much pressure on yourself out the gate?
Correct.
You know
that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing, bro. I literally
we want to see fades anyway. Like we don't give a fuck. Full. Everybody seen grainy ass cell phone footage of Billy and Saint mixing it up. You feel me? Motherfuckers will watch anybody from the fight that want to fight. You ain't gotta, you know, book motherfucking Eminem versus MGK for your first battle, whatever. You feel me? Like
right. No, I get that. I get that. And this is why the Math and Diz fight was brought up. They reached out to me.
Right.
They wanted to do it. Math wanted to do it. You know what I'm saying? And once they reached out to me, I'm like, yeah, you know what? We can do this. We can make it happen. Let's make it happen. And then we start, you know what I'm saying, fooling around, start talking about different shit, figuring out ways to make shit happen. And once Math released it, it was like, all right, fuck, it's full-fledged a go now. Because Math released the trailer. It was like, fuck, it's just a go now. There's no taking it, you know what I'm saying, in stride. It's you have to fucking go. And that's where we at now, to where it has to go. We have to have a lane, and that's what I'm trying to do. And that's what I'm going to do.
No offense to the homies, Math and Diz and everybody else, but fools are like very, very arrogant to think that like the star power, their name's gonna be just demanding such an insane amount of just like purchases out the gate. Like that ain't the way it worked. Like
right, and I understand that, and this was a concern that you know we've talked about. You know, closer to the event, ticket sales are just going to just fucking go out the roof. Closer to the event, we're here 3 months away from the event. You know what I'm saying?
This is true.
But
most
but
ticket
with
sales
boxing,
that's a fact.
Yeah, it's usually sells the day of the event, as far as pay-per-view goes.
For sure.
The day of the event. Oh shit, it's actually happened. Let me purchase it. That's how it happens. I get that. I understand that. I'm not naive to that. You know what I'm saying? And this is why we've had this conversation. This is why I had these conversations with these gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? Yo, we can succeed extremely fast, or it can take a moment. But the thing is that it's going to happen. So this is why we had that agreement. You know what I'm saying? But once it was, yo, we can actually find this fucking bag, and Malathion was like, yo, we can find this bag, and I wasted a whole month of my fucking time. You get what I'm saying? It's a bump in the road. It's a fence that I got to jump over.
And I think why Malathion got frustrated, not to speak on his behalf, but just because he is the homie, and like, you know, and I want everybody to be cool, and I know that he fuck with you beyond all this, is that he went and spoke up on your word, saying that you needed a certain amount of money, when we later discovered that what was needed was going to be way bigger than that. You feel me? And I think that's why he was like, well, fuck it, I gotta make this.
No, the thing was, Malathion was trying to get the entire bag, and I told him from the jump, I just need the deposits. That's where that number came from. We didn't have a full understanding of what the fuck was being asked of us. And when I tried to get that understanding with him, he just like, oh man, come on, man, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm like, bro, you gotta listen to me. And like, a major part of this is active listening. It's active listening, because one word can be mistaken, and now we have a fucking clusterfuck of bullshit going on, which is what happened. You know what I'm saying? I never told him I needed 100,000. He asked me, what does this event cost? This is the number that it costs. This is what I need.
From me just adding up the numbers, you're right. You did never say you needed that. That is 100% true. I agree with you. But from my calculations, based on that conversation that the three of us had, you did need comparable numbers of that. You feel me? In my opinion. You feel me? Like,
yeah, the only reason, now I can understand why he would try to go get the whole bag. Don't fight off the back end. Don't fight off this, that, and the third. I get it.
Yeah.
I understand. That's why.
Trying to make it so you don't have a hairline that looks like mine. You feel me?
Exactly. It's already there, bro. I'm getting old, man. But that's what we was trying to avoid, and I respected that. That's why I said, yo, if you can get it, cool. But this is what we need. This is what we need.
Like, and if you asking somebody to put up that much dough, and then for somehow it turns out not being enough, and there's no security that it's gonna be enough, and then they wind up with that money in the wind and completely losing their ass, like, it could, you know, like, most people with sound business minds are not going to even pursue that. So that's why I think Malik got frustrated and shit. You feel me? Like,
right, but that's when you talk in business, bro, you can't get frustrated. Numbers aren't always going to match up. That's why you're talking business. If it was that easy, we all would be fucking rich from the beginning.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? That's why you have these moments to where you have to talk about these things. You have to discuss these things. You have to get clarity on these things. And he wasn't willing to get clarity. And that was my whole thing. You feel me? And I'm like, yo, I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth with you in an argument when we're talking business.
No, it makes perfect sense, bro. But Diesel made a point that I completely agree with. To be honest with you, Diesel said, "Nah, bro, the numbers should always add up," and he's correct. Like, the numbers do need to add up. You feel?
Yeah, the numbers are supposed to add up. Correct. The numbers are supposed to add up. But what I mean by business and you know, working those numbers out is what you have to do. You have to work those numbers out. They're not going to straight add up right from the jump. Right. That's why you have to be able to work through those situations and work through those numbers to get it to add up. And that's what we did.
Basically, it's like to put in street terms, it's like what you basically came up in a city you never been to and found like 10 kilos of coke, but you never sold dope before and don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, and like, that's essentially what happened here. It's like completely backwards, but like, you got your finger on the pulse of something, but the logistics need to be there. And that's all I've been trying to impress upon you, is the way you.
No, I get that. If you've noticed, our conversations have never went left.
No,
it has been, let's figure it out.
Correct.
Let's do this. Let's get it together. With me and Malathion conversation, it's been at each other. I can't do business with somebody that I have to talk at or they're talking at me. We have to be able to talk with each other to figure it out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So me and you, we didn't have that issue. Correct. I didn't have an issue with you before this. But when they told me, when I got the call, like, yo, shit, man, Lush and Malathion, they say they got the money for us. You know, what's up, bro? They want to book us. I'm like, yo, that's some snake shit, period.
Right.
It's snake shit. It is, no matter how any way you look at it, you know what I'm saying? It's snake shit. It's definitely snake shit. To say, yo, well, fuck it, I'ma book it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of energy he was giving off the entire time.
And yet, like, and so just to clarify for you, so you further know where my heart's at and everything, which I actually haven't even spoke on this live yet. When I first became aware of the fact that when Diz hit me up yesterday and was like, what's Gucci, like 65 is saying it's still going on, like I'm hearing conflicting messages, that's when I hit Mala and was like, what's up, you feel me? And at that point I just kind of took a step back from the entire situation, you know, which I was already kind of playing from afar because I wasn't solidified on any of the details enough to really feel confident in moving forward, although you know the event had my support. But when
and that's what I was trying to get you to, that's what I was trying to get you on the phone for, so we can have an understanding and you can see exactly what the fuck is going on. Right. Every message that Malathion delivered between us back and forth before we finally got to a conversation, and that conversation was fueled by a certain fucking motive of the conversation to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Saturday clarity numbers should always add up and acceptable risk juice should equal the squeeze. If not, sometimes best to walk it than push your money pit. I hear you. You know, with the whole shit, man, like Malathion, I felt just it. We didn't have an understanding, and in that understanding, it was two heads that wasn't able to clarify a situation that needed to be clarified.
And that's why, if you remember when we was on the phone, I was like, let's take a break for a couple hours.
Yeah, and once you said that, I was like, yo, Lush has a mind to where you can actually talk. But when we can't talk, when I go to speak and then it's, bro, this, I can't work like that.
Right. No, 1,000%.
I can't.
No, I totally feel you. And and he was definitely being aggressive. And I understand where a lot of the source of his frustration. And I also understand where you're coming from as well. In the end, I just want to see everybody succeed. Also, it's important to me that my homies, people like Dizaster, who I really care about, aren't being misled in any capacity. And I want the community at large to just stay with proper business etiquette and practices, so we as a coast, as a culture, can all be moving properly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
correct. And I will say how I went about wanting to do it in the beginning, which everybody agreed upon. I will say it definitely probably could have been handled better. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? But in wanting to make this happen and in getting agreements from everyone on making it happen, you know what I'm saying? I felt strong about it, shall I say.
Yeah, and it's like, and people like Geechee, I was just with Geechee a couple of days ago, and we were chopping it up about the event, and like, you know, like he was supportive of the event out the gate because he wanted to see if you could pull it off and see if he believed in you and wanted to see the West do good. And like, you know what I'm saying? He genuinely was trying to be supportive. So it's like, there were people that did want to see you win, you know what I'm saying? And do want to see you win.
Yeah. And we'll still win. We'll still win. Not a problem. That's not a problem. We'll still win.
And Diesel said it well. Diesel said it very well right here. Everyone knows that there's risk involved in investments, but there's got to be a plan in place for risk mitigation. And that's very well said.
Facts.